Hello, everyone. Tom with Capo Fetish. Let's talk about some sappy, nostalgic love songs from the 1970s. I love all these songs I'm going to feature here. I have about 10 of them. And the reason why I love them is because of the nostalgia. Some are indeed great songs, but they are sappy and they bring back really fine memories of growing up as a child in the 70s and then, early teenage years, etc. So I'm going to start off here. We're going to do this chronologically. And I'm going to start off with a real song that really defines early 70s sap. Even though I love this tune, here it is. And that is Bread's Make It With You. A number one in July of 1970. There was a time in the early 70s, I remember, going to a particular department store with my mom, like Sears or JCPenney or Woolworths or Montgomery Ward. There would always be that Best of Bread album staring you in the face. And I never did buy it. I did buy a few singles. But I remember several people on the block in the neighborhood had Best of Bread. They were always playing Bread. And this song here really just brings back amazing memories. Starting kindergarten, hanging out with kids on the street, riding bikes, learning how to basically ride a bike. So Make It With You from Bread from 1970, a nostalgic favorite. Sappy indeed. Another one from the same year, from 1970, a real classic written by Hal David and Burt Bacharach. First number one for this group. The Carpenters, Close to You. Another number one hit for 4 weeks on the charts. One of many, many million-selling Carpenters songs. Now, back in the day, I did not like the Carpenters at all. But over the years, through the decades, I've really come to appreciate Karen Carpenter's voice. Just a beautiful instrument. And I don't know if you ever noticed or ever went on YouTube and checked out her drumming. There are a few clips of her drumming. She was an amazing drummer. In fact, she was so amazing to some publications that she beat out John Bonham, of all people, as drummer of the year, I think in 71, which is absurd. But she still is a phenomenal musician, drummer, vocalist, and very tragic. But I love this track. It has those hallmark Burt Bacharach, Hal David, those notes, that bittersweet quality. Really good stuff here. Close to You by the Carpenters from 1970. Back in September 70, as I was starting kindergarten, this show came on the air, The Partridge Family. And the track, I Think I Love You, is another number one hit from 1970. Huge hit. I remember watching the first episode. I remember we watched The Brady Bunch and The Partridge Family was on right afterwards. And this song got a lot of airplay back in the fall of 1970. My sister had this album. I knew several people that had the single. And I remember maybe about 1971, 72, my mom buying me a Partridge Family board game, which was kind of cool. And I remember having a Jackson 5 board game around the same time, and I think she sold them at a garage sale back in the late 70s after she realized that we were not really into board games anymore. So wish I'd kept or held back her from selling those two board games. But another nostalgic favorite, Partridge Family, I Think I Love You, from 1970, another number one. Let's move on to 1974, a song by Mr. Romantic himself, Barry White. Love this stuff. Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Babe, from 74, another number one hit. Very sappy. I wonder if he knew that, all the sexy talk and the slow drawl. I wonder if he knew that was all kind of fun. I just think this stuff is just full of just absolute humor, and it's very light, and I love the backup. I love the funk that's going on in the back. This kind of light funk. I love his delivery. It's really hysterical. Just Mr. Loveman himself, Barry White. So many great songs from that era. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do with you? Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Babe. Never ever gonna give you up. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you just a little more, baby. I Found Someone. So many cool tracks are from Barry White. 1974's Can't Get Enough of Your Love, another number one. Let's move on to 1975. I think this song I heard more than any song from 1975. A lot of us were listening to AM radio. at the time on the street. And this song was on, I think, literally like 3 times on the hour on KHJ. I think KRLA at that point was a regular station. It wasn't an oldie station at that point, but I'm talking about the Captain and Tennille, Love Will Keep Us Together. Huge, huge song. 4 weeks at #1 in 75. So huge that they even got their own TV series for a short time, I think in 76. And then they would follow this up with Muskrat Love and a couple of other tracks I can't think of right now. I think they did a version of Shop Around, I believe. But yeah, Love Will Keep Us Together really brings back some mid-70s memories. I was 10 at the time. And yeah, good stuff, bad stuff, call it what you want. It's nostalgia. It's 1975. Captain and Tennille, Love Will Keep Us Together. 1976, some real sappiness, but it brings back memories, weird memories of being in the orthodontist chair. They had this station on, and they probably curated about 20 or 30 songs, and you'd hear the same songs every time you go on. When they'd work on your teeth and tighten up the braces, and this song was constantly on. Firefall, You Are the Woman from 76, number 9. I must have heard this thing about 100 times over the course of a few years at the orthodontist. So even though that wasn't fun going to the orthodontist, it still brings back good times from that era, 75, 76, being 10 and 11. Just good stuff. And the Valley, living in the San Fernando Valley at that time was really safe, really a nice place to live. So Fire Falls, You Are the Woman, and written by Rick Roberts. He was in the kind of the Mark II version of the Flying Burrito Brothers. So I think he was on the 3rd Burrito Brothers album. Really good album. There's a good track on there called Colorado. But anyway, Firefall, You Are the Woman from 1976. Another fun, nostalgic, sappy song, love song. Here's another one, kind of on the same level of sappiness, but I always loved it, is Stephen Bishop's On and On from 77. Really cool. And this song, the memory I have of this song is in the early 80s, this isn't even a 70s memory, in the early 80s, I went to Alaska with my parents. And I remember at that time when you aboard a plane, they would have music playing. And I remember hearing On and On. And it always reminds me of that trip to Alaska in the early 80s to Anchorage. Good times. This was a number 9. Or actually, sorry, a number 11 on the charts, in the U.S. charts in 1977. Stephen Bishop's On and On, I think his highest charting single on ABC Records. Another one from 76 is, I love this track to this day, is Jefferson Starship's With Your Love, written by Marty Balin, sung by Marty Balin. Very, very, very sappy. Marty Balin had this kind of ability to write these kind of borderline sappy love songs, especially in the Starship. But I love this song. I love Miracles. I love the chord changes in it. And just the whole vibe of it just really just reeks of 1976 and good times. So With Your Love, here's the back cover with Grace. Though I love Jefferson Airplane a lot better, the Starship, Jefferson Starship, did have some cool cuts. And this is their gold album, Best Of. So With Your Love is another fine, sappy love song I love from 1976. Another one is, normally wouldn't put James Taylor in the sappy category, but Shower the People is pretty sappy, but it's a great track. In the Pocket from 1976. I remember my 11th birthday. It was either my brother or his sister bringing this home, and then right afterwards, my brother gave me the Kinks' Everybody's in Showbiz album for my 11th birthday. But this was being played all the time on the living room turntable. Both my brother and my 2 sisters were huge James Taylor fans, so I really knew the 1970s James Taylor catalog back to front. In the Pocket's a cool album. After this, he would release JT, which was even a bigger album, but Shower the People is a cool track. The lyrics are a little on the sappy side, but I love the chorus and Carly Simon singing backup, and it's cool. So Shower the People from 76, James Taylor, In the Pocket. And then a favorite from 78, Produced by Lindsey Buckingham. Backing vocals from Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks. I'm talking about Walter Egan's Magnet and Steel. Here's the 45. I even have the 45. Kind of has this kind of 50s doo-wop kind of feel. And you can definitely hear Stevie Nicks' voice as clear as day coming in on those bridges. And on the choruses, you hear Lindsey and Stevie. Very, very cheesy, sappy tune, but I've always loved this track here. Magnet and Steel from Walter Egan, I believe his only hit from 1978, a number 8 on the U.S. charts. And there you go, folks. If you have any more to add to this 70s sappy nostalgia list, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Throw those in the comments section. As always, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you dig the content across the channel, press subscribe. It's free. And you all have a good time, good day ahead of you, and we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.